Mommy, there's a man at the door. Ivy Brennan's hands freeze mid-motion, soap suds dripping from the chipped coffee mug she's been washing for the third time. Her 4-year-old son, Owen, stands in the kitchen doorway of their cramped apartment, his dinosaur pajamas 2 sizes too small, the cuffs riding up his ankles. But it's his eyes that make her stomach drop. Wide, glassy with the kind of fear children shouldn't know. What man, baby? She keeps her voice steady even as her pulse hammers against her throat. The dish slips from her fingers, clattering into the sink. The one from before, the angry one. Brett. The name alone makes her mouth go dry. She wipes her hands on her jeans, the same pair she's worn for 3 days straight because the laundromat costs money she doesn't have, and moves toward Owen. Her knees protest. The double shift at Rosie's diner has left her bones aching, her feet swollen in her worn sneakers. Before we continue, please prove my mom wrong. She says I can't hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's continue. Go to your room, sweetheart. Take your trucks and... The knock comes then. Not a polite tap, but a boom that rattles the door in its frame, makes the chain lock swing and clink. Ivy, Brett's voice bleeds through the thin wood, slurred and sharp. I know you're in there. We need to talk about the money. Owen's small hand clutches the hem of her shirt. She can feel him trembling. You don't owe him anything, she whispers, smoothing Owen's dark curls, the same shade as hers, the only thing his father left them besides debt and bruises. Mommy's going to handle this. Another knock, harder. Something cracks. The wood or her resolve. She can't tell. Ivy's been in survival mode for 2 years, ever since she walked out of her marriage with nothing but Owen and a black eye that took 3 weeks to fade. She rebuilt, got the apartment, got the job, stayed invisible. But Brett found her anyway. Her ex-husband's brother, come to collect on debts she didn't sign for, wouldn't have agreed to even if she had. She needs help. Real help. The kind the police won't give a woman with no evidence, just a bad feeling and a locked door that won't hold much longer. Her phone sits on the counter, screen cracked from the time she dropped it in the diner parking lot. She grabs it, scrolls to the only number she hasn't let herself call, Dante Voss. She met him 3 weeks ago when he walked into Rosie's at 2 a.m, all sharp cheekbones and darker than midnight eyes. He wore a suit that probably cost more than her yearly rent, moved like shadows given shape. When he sat at the counter and ordered black coffee, nothing else, just coffee he didn't drink, she felt it, that pull, that danger. He left a $1,000 tip on a $6 check. She tried to return it, chased him into the parking lot, heart pounding, clutching the crisp bills that felt obscene in her work-worn hands. You made a mistake, she'd said. He'd looked at her with eyes that seemed to glow in the streetlight's sodium glare. I never make mistakes, Ivy. He knew her name. She hadn't told him her name. Take it, he'd said, his voice like smoke and old velvet. You'll need it. Then he'd given her his card. Heavy stock, black with silver lettering. Just a name and a number. No title, no business. When she Googled him later that night, she found almost nothing. Mentions in financial papers about acquisitions, a blurry photo from a charity gala where he stood in the background, watching. Rumors, whispers about old money and older power. She saved his number. Never called. Until now. The phone rings once, twice. Ivy. His voice answers before she speaks, recognition instant. No surprise, like he's been waiting. I need help, her voice cracks. She hates how small she sounds. There's a man, he won't leave, and Owen's scared, and I don't know what to... Address, she tells him. Her hands shake so badly she nearly drops the phone. Lock yourself in the bathroom with Owen. Don't open the door for anyone but me. A pause, and when he speaks again, something in his tone shifts, colder, edged with something ancient and absolute. I'm coming. The line goes dead. Brett's pounding intensifies. I'm not leaving, Ivy. You think you can just hide from the Brennan family? Your piece-of-shit husband took 50 grand from the wrong people and someone's gonna pay. She scoops Owen into her arms, even though he's getting too big for this, too heavy for her exhausted body. He buries his face in her neck, and she can feel his tears soaking through her shirt. Shh, baby, it's okay. A friend is coming. The bathroom is barely big enough for the two of them. She sits on the closed toilet lid, Owen in her lap, and listens to Brett's rage crescendo on the other side of the apartment. He's trying the doorknob now. The lock won't hold. She knows it won't hold. 3 minutes pass like hours. Then, silence. The sudden absence of noise is worse than the shouting. Ivy strains to hear something, anything. Owen lifts his head, his small face blotchy and tear-stained. Is he gone? Before she can answer, she hears it. A new voice, low and deadly calm. You're trespassing. Even through 2 walls, Dante's words carry a weight that makes her skin prickle. Brett's response is aggressive, alcohol thick. Who the hell are you? This is family business? She's under my protection. Each word drops like a stone into still water. Leave. Now. Your protection? Listen, buddy, I don't know who you think you are, but... The sound that follows isn't quite a growl, but something close. Something that doesn't belong in a human throat. Owen's fingers dig into Ivy's shoulder. Mommy, what is that? She doesn't answer because she doesn't know. Her heart is a wild bird beating against her ribs. Last chance. Dante's voice has dropped lower, resonant with an authority that bypasses reason and goes straight to the hindbrain, the part that remembers when humans weren't the apex predators. Walk away, or I will remove you. Brett must sense it too. That wrongness, that danger, because his next words come out strangled. Your eyes, what the fuck? A thud, a crash. The building itself seems to shudder. Then footsteps approach the bathroom door. Measured, purposeful. Ivy, Dante's voice, gentle now, completely controlled. It's safe. She stands on shaking legs, settling Owen on her hip, and unlocks the door. Dante stands in her narrow hallway, and he's perfect. Not a hair out of place, his black shirt still crisp, his expression calm. But there's something in his eyes. A flash of crimson that's there and gone so fast she thinks she imagined it. Where's Brett? Gone. A slight smile curves his mouth, revealing nothing. He won't bother you again. Owen stares at him with unblinking fascination. Are you a superhero? Dante's gaze shifts to the boy, and something softens in his face. Something like that. Did you beat up the bad man? Owen, Ivy starts, but Dante raises a hand. I convinced him to leave, he says to Owen with complete seriousness. Sometimes that's what heroes do. We protect people who need protecting. Owen considers this, then nods gravely. Okay, thank you for protecting Mommy. The simple gratitude from her son makes Ivy's eyes burn. She blinks hard, refusing to cry. She's cried enough for one lifetime. Dante looks at her then, really looks at her, and she feels exposed. He sees the exhaustion carved into her bones, the desperation she's been outrunning, the fear she wears like a second skin. Pack a bag, he says quietly. Both of you, you're coming with me. I can't just, we don't... She stumbles over the words, over the impossibility of it all. This building isn't safe. Brett was an errand boy. There will be others. His expression darkens. I can offer you protection, a place to stay while we resolve this situation. No strings, no obligations, just safety. She should say no. Should thank him and figure this out herself, the way she's figured out everything else. But Owen's weight in her arms reminds her she's not alone anymore. That pride is a luxury she can't afford. Why? The question scrapes out of her. Why would you help us? Dante is silent for a long moment, his dark eyes unreadable. When he speaks, his voice carries an honesty that steals her breath. Because from the moment I saw you, 3 weeks ago, counting change with hands that shook from exhaustion, smiling at customers who didn't deserve your kindness, I knew. He steps closer, and she can smell him now. Something like winter nights and distant storms. I knew you were mine to protect. The possessiveness should alarm her. Instead, it settles over her like a warm blanket after years in the cold. I don't understand. You will. His hand lifts, hovering near her cheek but not touching, asking permission without words. Trust me, Ivy. Just for tonight. Let me keep you safe. Owen yawns against her shoulder, exhausted from fear and late hours. The decision makes itself. Okay, she whispers. Okay. 20 minutes later, she's sitting in a car that probably costs more than she'll make in 5 years. Owen is buckled in the back, already drowsy, clutching his favorite stuffed triceratops. The leather seats are butter soft, the dashboard gleaming with technology she doesn't recognize. Dante drives with one hand on the wheel, the city lights painting his face in alternating shadow and gold. He hasn't spoken since they left, giving her space to process. Where are we going? She asks as they leave her neighborhood behind, heading toward the part of town where buildings scrape the sky and money whispers instead of shouts. Somewhere safe. He glances at her, and there's that flash again. Red, brief, impossible. My home. The penthouse suite occupies the entire top floor of the obsidian tower. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the glittering sprawl of the city, and Ivy stands in the entryway, feeling like she's stepped onto another planet. Everything gleams. Chrome and marble and dark wood that probably comes from trees that no longer exist. Owen is asleep in her arms, dead weight, drooling on her shoulder. There's a room prepared, Dante says, touching a panel on the wall. A door slides open, revealing a bedroom that's bigger than her entire apartment. The bed is enormous, dressed in charcoal linens that look impossibly soft. Put him down. There's a bathroom through there, clothes in the closet that should fit. You keep women's clothes here? The question comes out sharper than intended, jealousy surprising her with its swift bite. His smile is slight. I had them delivered while we drove, along with items for Owen. How did you... I'm resourceful. He moves to a second door, opens it to reveal another bedroom, equally luxurious. This one's yours. You'll have privacy, security. Everything you need. She settles Owen on the bed, removes his shoes, covers him with a blanket that probably costs more than her car. When she turns back, Dante is watching from the doorway, his expression unguarded for just a moment. He looks hungry. Not predatory, but starving, like a man who's been alone for centuries and just remembered what warmth feels like. I don't know how to repay you, she says. Don't. His voice is rough. This isn't a transaction, Ivy. Then what is it? He crosses to her, each step deliberate, giving her time to retreat. She doesn't. Can't. Something in her recognizes something in him, calls to it, demands it closer. It's a claiming. He stops a breath away, close enough that she has to tilt her head back to meet his eyes. Whether you understand it yet or not. Her pulse kicks up, heat pooling low in her belly despite everything. The fear, the exhaustion, the sheer insanity of this night. You talk in riddles. I know. His hand lifts, and this time he touches her, fingers ghosting along her jaw with a gentleness that makes her ache. Be patient with me. Some truths are too dangerous to speak before you're ready to hear them. Are you dangerous? Yes. No hesitation, no pretty lies. But never to you, never to him. His gaze flicks to Owen, sleeping peacefully for the first time in weeks. You're mine, Ivy Brennan. Mine to protect, mine to provide for. And I will burn this city to ash before I let anyone harm you again. She should be terrified, should run. But she's spent 2 years running, and she's so tired. Tired of being afraid, of being alone, of pretending she doesn't want someone to fight her battles when her own strength is ground to dust. What are you? The question whispers out. His smile is beautiful and terrible. Ask me again when you're ready for the answer. Then he steps back, breaking the spell, giving her air. "Rest," he says. "Tomorrow we deal with the Brennan family. Tonight, you're safe." He leaves before she can respond, the door clicking shut with a finality that feels like a promise. Ivy stands in the opulent silence, her reflection staring back from a dozen gleaming surfaces. She looks small, worn, out of place in this world of wealth and shadows. But for the first time in years, she feels protected. She showers in a bathroom larger than her bedroom, standing under water pressure that's actually strong, using products that smell like honey and vanilla instead of the cheap floral soap from the dollar store. When she emerges, wrapped in a towel softer than clouds, she finds pajamas laid out on the bed, real silk, in deep green that matches her eyes. There's a note on the nightstand, written in elegant script. "Sleep without fear." I'm watching. It should be creepy. Instead, it's comforting. She checks on Owen, still sleeping, lips parted, one hand flung over his head, then crawls into her own bed. The mattress is perfect, cradling her aching body like a gentle embrace. She's asleep in seconds, and dreams of red eyes and shadows that feel like home. Morning comes with sunlight streaming through windows that probably cost more than most cars. Ivy wakes slowly, luxuriating in the absence of pain. Her body doesn't hurt. The mattress worked miracles on her chronically sore back. Owen's laughter filters through the door. She bolts upright, heart lurching, and throws on the robe hanging nearby. Silk, of course, because apparently Dante doesn't do cheap anything. The main living area is enormous, all open concept with a kitchen that belongs in magazines. Owen sits at the marble island, swinging his legs, a plate of pancakes in front of him shaped like dinosaurs. Dante stands at the stove, spatula in hand, looking completely at ease despite wearing what's probably a $5,000 shirt. "Mommy," Owen spots her, syrup on his chin. "Mr. Dante makes the best pancakes, and he has a TV as big as a wall, and he said I can watch cartoons." Dante glances over, and the smile he gives her is soft, intimate, like they've done this 1,000 times. "Good morning. Coffee?" Yes, please." She feels off balance, caught in some alternate reality where she wakes up in penthouses and gorgeous, mysterious men make breakfast for her son. He pours her a cup from a machine that probably requires an advanced degree to operate, then slides it across the counter. Their fingers brush. Electricity sparks up her arm. "We need to talk," he says quietly, his eyes flicking to Owen. "After." She nods, sipping coffee that tastes like heaven, and watches her son demolish pancakes while chattering about dinosaurs and superheroes and how cool this place is. An hour later, Owen is settled in front of the massive TV with age-appropriate cartoons and a pile of new toys that appeared from somewhere. Dante leads Ivy to an office, all dark wood and leather with a view that makes her dizzy. "The Brennan family," he begins, settling into a chair behind the desk, "is small time. Loan sharks operating out of the industrial district. Your ex-husband borrowed from them to fund a gambling habit. When he couldn't pay, he disappeared. They want their money, plus interest. Current total is around 80,000. Her stomach plummets. I could never. "It's handled." He says it like it's nothing. "Pocket change. I paid them this morning, in full, with interest, and compensation for their inconvenience." She stares at him, unable to process. Why would you? That's so much money." "Ivy." He leans forward, elbows on the desk, pinning her with that dark gaze. "Money is irrelevant. You matter. Owen matters. Your safety matters. Everything else is just numbers." "I'll pay you back." The words are automatic, desperate. "I don't know how, but No. Flat. Final. This isn't a loan. It's not a debt. I'm not doing this to own you." "Then why?" He stands, moves around the desk with that preternatural grace she's noticed before. Up close, she can see details she missed last night. The way his skin is too perfect, unmarked by time or sun. The way he doesn't quite seem to breathe normally. the way shadows cling to him like old friends. Because you walked into my world wearing exhaustion like armor, he says, voice low and intense, and still managed to smile. Because you didn't take my money when you desperately needed it, tried to return it instead. Because when I look at you, I feel something I haven't felt in 200 years. The confession hangs between them, impossible and true. 200, she repeats faintly. His smile is wry. You asked if I was dangerous. Now you're asking what I am. He tilts his head, and the movement is subtly wrong, too fluid. You're a smart woman, Ivy. You've already guessed. Her mind races through the clues, the red eyes, the inhuman grace, the casual mention of centuries, the way Brett fled screaming. Fear should come. Terror. Instead, there's just curiosity and a strange, bone-deep certainty. Vampire, she whispers. Yes. The world tilts, reshapes itself. Everything she thought she knew about reality cracks open, revealing something vast and ancient underneath. Are you going to hurt us? Never. The word resonates with power, with absolute conviction. I would sooner walk into the sun. Would that kill you? Eventually. Painfully. He touches her then, hand curling around her jaw with infinite care. I am what your stories warned you about, Ivy. I am dangerous and old and not entirely human anymore, but I am yours. Completely. Irrevocably. From the moment I saw you, I knew my centuries of waiting were over. Her breath hitches. I don't understand. You're my mate. His thumb traces her cheekbone, and his touch feels like coming home. The one I was made for. It happens rarely among my kind. Once in a millennium, if we're lucky. And when it happens, there's no denying it, no walking away. You're in my blood now, Ivy. In my soul. It should sound insane, possessive, terrifying. Instead, it explains the pull she's felt, the way her body responds to him, the certainty that settled over her last night when she agreed to come here. I'm just a waitress, a single mom. I'm nothing special. His eyes flash red, genuine this time, no hiding it. You are everything. Don't ever diminish yourself again. The command in his voice makes her shiver, but not from fear. What do you want from me? She asks. Everything. His honesty is brutal, beautiful. Your trust. Your time. Eventually, if you'll have me. Your life. But I'm not asking for anything now, except the chance to prove myself. To show you that I can give you the life you deserve. Safety. Comfort. A future where you don't have to choose between feeding Owen and paying rent. This is crazy. Yes. He smiles, and it transforms his face from coldly beautiful to devastating. But you've been living in crazy for 2 years, Ivy. At least this version comes with someone who will kill to protect you. She should say no, should grab Owen and run. But where would she run to? Back to the apartment with the broken lock? Back to double shifts and dollar store soap? Back to being afraid every time someone knocked? Or forward, into this impossible new reality where a vampire king claims her as his mate and makes pancakes for her son? I need time, she says finally, to think, to understand. Take all the time you need. He releases her, steps back, giving her space. Stay here. Make this place yours. I have business to attend to, making sure the Brennans understand that you're permanently off limits, but I'll be back tonight. We can talk more then. He's at the door when she calls his name. Dante? He turns, eyebrows raised. Thank you. For everything. His smile is gentle. Always, Ivy. Always. The days blur into a week. Dante keeps his word. He's patient, undemanding. He provides everything. A safe home, food, clothes. Toys for Owen that make her son's eyes go wide with wonder. He never pushes, never demands more than she's willing to give. But he's there. Every evening he returns and has dinner with them. He asks about her day, listens to Owen's stories about dinosaurs and cartoons, treats them both with a kindness that makes her chest ache. And slowly she starts to thaw. She learns things about him. He's not just wealthy, he's powerful. The Obsidian Tower isn't just his home, he owns it. Owns half the city, actually. Business empires built over centuries, investments that turned a minor European noble into something close to royalty in this modern world. But he doesn't flaunt it, doesn't use it to intimidate. With her, he's just Dante, the man who reads Owen bedtime stories in a voice made for lullabies, who makes sure there's always fresh coffee in the morning, who looks at her like she's the only thing in the world worth seeing. The attraction simmers between them, building with every accidental touch, every heated glance. She catches him watching her sometimes, eyes gone dark with hunger, but he never acts on it. Waiting, giving her control. It's the control that undoes her. 2 weeks after that first night, Owen is asleep, and she finds Dante on the balcony overlooking the city. He stands at the railing, wind ruffling his hair, and he looks lonely. Ancient. Beautiful. "Hey," she says softly. He turns, surprise flickering across his face. "Can't sleep?" "Thinking too much." She joins him at the railing, the night air cool on her skin. "About everything?" "About you. Dangerous territory. Maybe I like dangerous." The flirtation feels rusty, unpracticed. She hasn't wanted anyone in so long she forgot how. His eyes darken. "Ivy, you've been so patient," she continues, emboldened by the heat in his gaze. "So careful with me. But I'm not fragile, Dante. I'm not going to break. I know exactly how strong you are." His voice drops, rough as gravel. "That's what terrifies me. You could destroy me, Ivy Brennan. Completely." She reaches for him, fingers curling into his shirt, feeling the cool solidity of him beneath the fabric. "Then let me." The kiss, when it comes, is everything. He cups her face like she's made of starlight, and his mouth is gentle at first, reverent. But when she sighs against him, when her hands slide up to tangle in his hair, something breaks loose. He kisses her like he's drowning and she's air, like he's been waiting centuries for this exact moment. His hands span her waist, pulling her closer, and she goes willingly, pressing against him, feeling the leashed power in his body. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, or at least she is. She's still not sure he needs to breathe. He rests his forehead against hers. "I need you to be sure," he whispers. "Once we do this, once I claim you fully, there's no going back. I will never let you go." "Good." She kisses him again, softer. "I'm tired of running, Dante. Tired of being alone. I want this. Want you." The smile that spreads across his face is pure joy. "Then you'll have me. All of me. For as long as you'll keep me." Forever's a long time. Not nearly long enough. He lifts her like she weighs nothing, carries her inside, and for the first time in years, Ivy lets herself fall. The scandal hits 3 weeks later. Ivy is at the grocery store, an upscale place near the penthouse, so different from the discount mart she used to frequent, when she hears the whispers. 2 women in expensive athleisure eyeing her over the organic produce. That's her. The waitress? The one he's been... Can you believe it? Dante Voss, with someone like that. The contempt in their voices is razor sharp. Ivy's cheeks burn. She wants to shrink, to disappear, but Owen is tugging her hand, asking about cereal, oblivious to the venom. She buys her groceries with her head high, refusing to give them satisfaction. But it gets worse. The society pages pick it up. Photos of her leaving the building, Owen in her arms, looking tired and underdressed. Articles speculating about Dante's mysterious, new companion with barely concealed disdain. Questions about who she is, where she came from, what she could possibly offer a man of his caliber. Dante is furious when he sees them. Vultures, he snarls, pacing the living room like a caged predator. I'll sue every publication. Don't. She catches his arm, anchoring him. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. They have no right to. They're right, though. The admission tastes bitter. I am a waitress. I do come from nothing. And you're mine. He turns on her, eyes blazing red. Say it, Ivy. You're mine. That's all that matters. I'm yours, she whispers, and the truth of it settles into her bones. Then let me show them. He pulls her close, fierce and protective. Let me claim you publicly. No more hiding. No more whispers. I want the world to know exactly who you are to me. Fear and excitement war in her chest. How? His smile is sharp, dangerous. The Blackthorn Ball. Next week. The event of the season. Every power player, every socialite, every person who matters will be there. And you will walk in on my arm, wearing my ring, and they will understand that you are untouchable. Ring. He produces a box from his pocket. Velvet, small. Opens it to reveal a ring that steals her breath. The center stone is a ruby the color of fresh blood, surrounded by diamonds that catch the light and throw it back in defiant sparks. This was my mother's, he says quietly, worn by the matriarchs of my bloodline for 5 centuries. I want you to have it. Wear it. Let it tell anyone foolish enough to question you exactly who you belong to. The weight of history, of legacy, is overwhelming. Dante, I can't. You can. He slides it onto her finger, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. You are mine, Ivy, my mate, my queen, and I will make sure every person in this city knows it. The Blackthorn Ball is held in a mansion that looks like it was transplanted from a European fairy tale. Ivy stands in front of the mirror in their bedroom now shared, claimed, and barely recognizes herself. The dress Dante commissioned is midnight blue, almost black, with a neckline that dips low and a skirt that flows like water. Her hair is swept up, revealing the diamond earrings he gave her. The ruby ring catches the light with every movement. She looks like someone who belongs in this world. You're beautiful. Dante appears behind her, devastatingly handsome in a tailored tux. He's forgone the traditional tie for something more dramatic, all black, all elegant lines and sharp edges. He looks like sin personified. I'm terrified, she admits. Don't be. He kisses her shoulder just above the dress's edge. I'll be with you every second. And if anyone dares to make you uncomfortable, I will end them. Metaphorically, right? His smile in the mirror is all teeth. Of course, metaphorically. Owen is staying with Mrs. Chen, a sweet, elderly woman from the floor below who babysits and makes dumplings and doesn't ask questions about Dante's nature. He'd hugged Ivy goodbye, told her she looked like a princess, and she'd cried a little into his hair. Now she takes Dante's arm, lifts her chin, and steps into the lion's den. The ballroom is spectacular. Crystal chandeliers, live orchestra, enough wealth on display to fund a small country. People turn as they enter, whispers spreading like wildfire. Ivy feels every eye, every judgment. The waitress, the single mother, the nobody who somehow ensnared Dante Voss. Dante feels her tension. His hand covers hers where it rests on his arm, squeezing gently. Remember, he murmurs, you are mine. That makes you untouchable. They move through the crowd, and Dante is perfect, charming, attentive, introducing her to business partners and old acquaintances. He keeps her close, his hand on her lower back, marking his claim without words. But the real test comes when Vivian Ashcroft approaches. Ivy knows the name. Everyone does. Old money older than Dante's fabricated history. A woman who moves in the highest circles, whose opinion can make or break social standing. Dante. Vivian's smile is sharp as glass. How lovely to see you. And this must be your companion. The pause before companion is deliberate, cutting. My fiancé, Dante corrects smoothly, ice in his tone. Ivy Brennan, soon to be Ivy Voss. Vivian's eyes narrow. How charming. Though I must admit, I'm surprised. I didn't realize you were interested in charity cases. The insult lands like a slap. Ivy's face burns, but before she can respond, Dante moves. Not physically, but the temperature drops 10 degrees, and shadows seem to thicken around him. His eyes flash red, bright enough that people nearby gasp. Careful, Vivian. His voice is velvet over steel. You're addressing the woman I will spend eternity with. The mother of the boy I will raise as my own. The queen of everything I've built. Disrespect her again, and you will learn exactly how unpleasant I can make your existence. The threat is unmistakable. Vivian pales, stumbling back a step. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. Dante's smile is cruel. And now you know better. Spread the word, Vivian. Ivy Brennan is mine, my mate, my equal, and anyone who forgets that will answer to me. Silence ripples outward. People stare, and Ivy feels something crack open inside her chest. Not fear, not embarrassment. Power. She steps forward, meeting Vivian's shocked gaze with steady calm. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Ashcroft, she says, voice clear and strong. I'm sure we'll see each other again. The dismissal is polite, final. Vivian flees, and the whispers that follow aren't mocking anymore. They're awed, respectful. Dante pulls her onto the dance floor as the orchestra swells into a waltz. His hand spans her waist, and they move together like they've been doing this for centuries. You were magnificent, he murmurs against her ear. I was terrified. You didn't show it. He spins her, and she laughs, breathless. That's what matters. You stood your ground. You claimed your place. Our place. His eyes soften. Our place. They dance until her feet ache, until the ball winds down and the crowd thins. When they finally leave, there's no question anymore about who Ivy Brennan is. She's Dante Voss's mate, his queen, and the city knows it. The ride home is quiet, charged. Owen is still at Mrs. Chen's. They're picking him up in the morning, and the penthouse feels different. Empty, private. Dante pours them wine, expensive and rich, and they stand on the balcony watching the city lights. Thank you, Ivy says finally. For tonight. For defending me. For making them see. I made them see the truth. He sets down his glass, turns to her fully. You are extraordinary, Ivy. Not because of me. Because of you. Your strength. Your resilience. The way you love Owen. The way you rebuilt yourself from nothing. That's what I claimed tonight. Not a charity case. A warrior. Tears prick her eyes. You're going to make me cry, and this makeup was really expensive. He laughs, and the sound is warm, free. Come here. She goes, and he holds her, and they stand there watching the world below. A world that now knows exactly where she belongs. I love you, she says into his chest, feeling his still heart beneath her cheek. I don't know when it happened, but I do. I love you, Dante. His arms tighten. I have waited 200 years to hear those words. And now that I have, I will never let you go. Good. She looks up, finds his mouth. Because I'm not going anywhere. The kiss is slow, thorough, a promise sealed. When they finally break apart, he scoops her up, carries her inside, and shows her exactly how much her words mean. Months later, Ivy stands in the same penthouse, but it feels different. Lived in, loved in. There are Owen's toys in the corner, his drawings on the fridge, her books on the shelves, her coffee mug, the chipped one from the old apartment, kept because Dante knows it matters, on the counter. Owen runs through the living room, cape flying, making superhero noises. He's grown, thriving. happy in a way that makes her chest ache with gratitude. Dante emerges from the office, scoops Owen up mid-flight, and tickles him until he shrieks with laughter. "Dinner in 20 minutes, Ivy calls, stirring pasta sauce that actually came from fresh ingredients instead of a jar. "Need help?" Dante settles Owen on the couch with a new dinosaur book, then joins her in the kitchen. "You can set the table." He does, moving around her in the easy choreography of domesticity. It's such a normal scene, making dinner, setting plates, a child playing nearby. Except the man helping her is a 200-year-old vampire, and she's wearing an engagement ring that cost more than most houses. And in 3 months, she'll marry him in a ceremony that will probably make international news. "What are you smiling about?" Dante asks, catching her expression. "Us." She gestures at the scene, the ordinary magic of it all. "This. How crazy it is that we're here. Crazy good or crazy bad? Crazy perfect." He kisses her, soft and sweet, and Owen makes gagging noises from the couch. "Gross! Mommy and Mr. Dante are kissing again." "You better get used to it, kiddo," Dante calls back, grinning. "I plan on kissing your mom a lot." "Forever?" "Forever and always." Owen considers this, then shrugs and returns to his book. Already, he's accepted this new reality, that Dante is part of their family, that this is home now. Children are remarkably adaptable, and Ivy has finally stopped running, stopped waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's claimed this life, this love, this impossible happiness. When the little boy said to the Vampire King, "The man Mommy's scared of is outside," his eyes flashed red with protective fury. But when that same Vampire King looks at her now, his eyes hold only love, and that makes all the difference. The call comes on a Tuesday afternoon while Ivy is folding laundry in the bedroom, warm clothes fresh from the dryer smelling like lavender detergent. Her phone buzzes, an unknown number, and something in her gut tightens even before she answers. "Is this Ivy Brennan?" The voice is female, clipped, professional. "Yes?" "This is Amanda Cortez from Child Protective Services. We need to schedule a home visit regarding your son, Owen Brennan. We've received a complaint about his living situation." The world tilts. Ivy sinks onto the bed, clean towels spilling forgotten to the floor. "What complaint? Who?" "I can't disclose the source, but allegations have been made about inappropriate living conditions and concerning influences." "We take these matters very seriously, Ms. Brennan. I'll need to see you and Owen tomorrow at 2 p.m. Please ensure you're both at your current residence." She rattles off the penthouse address, and Ivy's blood runs cold. Someone knows where they live. Someone reported them. There must be a mistake. Owen is happy, healthy. We'll make that determination tomorrow. Please have any relevant documentation ready. School records, medical records, proof of income. The line goes dead. Ivy sits there, phone clutched in shaking hands, and feels the old fear come roaring back. For months, she's been living in this bubble of safety, letting herself believe the nightmare was over. But nightmares don't end. They just wait. Dante finds her 20 minutes later, still sitting there, staring at nothing. "Ivy?" He's across the room in an instant. Kneeling in front of her, hands on her knees. "What happened?" "CPS." Her voice sounds hollow. "Someone reported us. They're coming tomorrow for a home visit." His eyes flash red, fury immediate and absolute. "Who?" "They won't say." "But Dante, what if they take him? What if they decide I'm unfit because I'm living with you, because we're not married yet? Because—" "Stop." His hands frame her face, forcing her to look at him. "Listen to me. No one is taking Owen. I won't allow it. You can't just— there are laws, procedures. I am aware of human bureaucracy." His smile is sharp, dangerous. "And I have spent 2 centuries learning how to navigate it. We will handle this, Ivy. Together." But the fear has hooks in her now, dragging her back to every moment of powerlessness in her life. The marriage she couldn't escape. The poverty she couldn't outrun. The system that never seemed designed to help people like her. What if they find out about you? She whispers. What you are? They won't. Certainty rings in his voice. I've existed in human society for lifetimes without discovery. Trust me. She wants to. Desperately. But trust feels like a luxury she can't afford when her son's safety hangs in the balance. That night, she barely sleeps. Dante holds her, solid and cool against her back, but even his presence can't quiet the anxiety gnawing at her insides. Every worst-case scenario plays out in her mind. Owen crying for her as strangers take him away, foster homes, courtrooms, losing him forever. Morning comes gray and drizzly. Ivy dresses carefully, modest jeans, a simple sweater, nothing too expensive that might raise questions. She removes the ruby ring, hesitates, then puts it back on. She won't hide, won't pretend to be less than she is. Owen picks up on her tension over breakfast, his small face creasing with worry. Mommy, are you sad? No, baby, just thinking. She smooths his hair, memorizing the feel of it. A lady is coming to visit us today. She's going to ask some questions about how we live here. I need you to be honest with her, okay? Tell her the truth. What truth? That you're happy. That Dante takes good care of us. That this is home. Owen considers this seriously. Okay. But Mommy, why does she need to ask? Can't she just see? Out of the mouths of children. Sometimes grown-ups need things explained, sweetheart. Dante appears in the kitchen doorway, dressed down in dark jeans and a simple black shirt. Still expensive, but less obviously so. He's trying to appear normal, human, approachable. It almost works. Everything's ready, he says quietly. I've compiled all the documentation they might need. School enrollment for Owen starting next month at Westbridge Academy. Medical records from Dr. Patterson showing he's up to date on all vaccinations and checkups. Financial statements proving stability. Westbridge? Ivy blinks. That's one of the best private schools in the city. He deserves the best. Dante's tone brooks no argument, and it demonstrates we're invested in his future. The doorbell rings at precisely 2 p.m. Ivy's heart hammers against her ribs as she opens it to reveal a woman in her 40s, brown hair pulled back severely, carrying a leather folder and wearing an expression of professional neutrality. Ms. Brennan, I'm Amanda Cortez. Her gaze flicks past Ivy, taking in the penthouse with sharp, assessing eyes. May I come in? Of course. Ivy steps aside, trying to keep her hands from shaking. Owen peeks out from behind the couch, curious, and Amanda's expression softens slightly. You must be Owen. Hi, he waves, then looks at Ivy for permission before approaching. Do you want to see my dinosaurs? I have a Triceratops and a T-Rex and... Maybe in a bit, sweetheart. Amanda sets her folder on the coffee table. First, I need to talk to your mom. Dante materializes from the office, and Ivy watches Amanda's reaction. The brief widening of eyes, the unconscious straightening of posture. He has that effect on people. I'm Dante Voss, Ivy's fiancé. He extends a hand, and Amanda takes it, though her professional mask slips for just a moment. Mr. Voss, I wasn't aware you'd be present. I live here. Simple, direct. Owen is going to be my stepson. This concerns me as much as it concerns Ivy. Amanda's jaw tightens, but she nods. Very well. Let's start with some basic questions. Ms. Brennan, how long have you been residing at this address? 4 months. And your relationship with Mr. Voss began when? We met about 5 months ago. Ivy keeps her voice steady. He's been nothing but supportive and kind to both me and Owen. I see. Amanda makes notes. And your previous residence? An apartment in the Riverside district. I left because it wasn't safe. The truth, if not all of it. Can you elaborate on that? Ivy glances at Dante, draws strength from his steady presence. My ex-husband's family was harassing me over debts I didn't owe. They made threats. I was afraid for Owen's safety. Did you report these threats to the police? No. Shame colors her cheeks. I didn't think they'd help. Amanda's expression reveals nothing, but she writes more notes. Mr. Voss, what is your occupation? I manage investments and real estate holdings. Dante's tone is pleasant, easy, primarily commercial properties throughout the city. And you're comfortable taking on the responsibility of a child that isn't biologically yours? Something flashes in Dante's eyes. There and gone. Owen is already mine in every way that matters. Biology is irrelevant. That's quite a commitment for a relationship that's only 5 months old. When you know, you know. He moves to stand behind Ivy's chair, his hand resting on her shoulder. The touch grounds her. I love Ivy. I love Owen. I want to build a life with them. There's nothing complicated about it. Amanda studies them both, and Ivy can't read her expression. I'd like to see Owen's room, if I may. They lead her down the hall. Owen's bedroom is a child's paradise. Toys organized on shelves, books arranged by size, a bed shaped like a race car that he picked out himself. The walls are painted a cheerful blue, decorated with his artwork and a growth chart Dante insisted on starting. Amanda inspects it all with meticulous attention. Opens the closet to see clothes in various sizes, all clean and age-appropriate. Checks the bathroom they share, stocked with kid-friendly toiletries, a step stool, bath toys. He seems well cared for, Amanda admits. He is. Ivy's voice trembles with suppressed emotion. I would do anything for my son. Everything I've done, living here, accepting Dante's help. It's all been to give Owen a better life. Some might say you're using Mr. Voss for financial gain. The accusation lands like a punch. Ivy opens her mouth to defend herself, but Dante speaks first. I pursued Ivy. His tone has gone cold, dangerous. Not the other way around. I saw a woman working herself to exhaustion to provide for her child, and I wanted to help. That's not exploitation. That's partnership. Amanda turns to him. You have considerable resources, Mr. Voss. Some might find it concerning that you're so invested in a woman and child you've known for such a short time. Then those people lack imagination. Dante's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Or they've never been in love. They return to the living room, where Owen has abandoned his dinosaurs in favor of a coloring book. He looks up as they enter, crayon in hand. Are you done talking? Because I want to show you my favorite book. Mr. Dante reads it to me every night. Amanda's expression shifts, something almost warm breaking through. Which book is that? Owen scrambles to the bookshelf, retrieves a worn copy of Where the Wild Things Are. This one. He does all the voices. Does he? Amanda takes the book, flips through it. That's very nice of him. He's the best. Owen beams up at Dante with uncomplicated adoration. He makes pancakes and helps with my puzzles, and he's teaching me chess, even though I'm not very good yet. You're getting better, Dante says softly, ruffling Owen's hair. The gesture is so natural, so full of affection, that something in Amanda's posture relaxes. Owen, can I ask you some questions? She crouches to his level. Just you and me? Ice floods Ivy's veins, but she forces herself to nod. Of course. Amanda takes Owen to his room, closes the door. The wait is excruciating. Ivy paces, twisting the ruby ring around her finger. What if he says something wrong? What if she misinterprets? Owen will tell the truth. Dante catches her hands, stills her frantic movement. That he's loved, safe, happy. That's all that matters. What if it's not enough? It will be. But even he sounds less certain than usual. 15 minutes pass like hours. When the door finally opens, Owen emerges chattering happily about the questions, completely unaware of the stakes. Amanda follows, her expression thoughtful. Ms. Brennan, Mr. Voss, can we sit? They settle on the couch, and Ivy feels like she's waiting for a verdict that will determine her entire future. Amanda opens her folder, reviews her notes. The silence stretches. I want to be transparent with you, she says finally. The complaint we received came from someone claiming to have witnessed Owen in distress, living with strangers, in an environment unsuitable for a child. That's not true. Ivy's voice cracks. None of that is true. I can see that. Amanda meets her gaze. What I've observed today is a child who is well-adjusted, articulate, clearly bonded with both of you. His living conditions exceed standard requirements. He's enrolled in an excellent school. His medical care is exemplary. Hope flutters, fragile. So whoever filed this complaint either had inaccurate information or malicious intent. Amanda closes the folder with a decisive snap. I'm recommending this case be closed. No further action is necessary. The relief hits Ivy so hard she almost sobs. Dante's arm comes around her shoulders, anchoring her. However, Amanda continues, and the hope wavers, I would advise you to be cautious. Complaints like this don't appear from nowhere. Someone is watching you. Someone who doesn't approve of your situation. Do you know who? Dante's voice is deadly quiet. As I said, I can't disclose the source, but I can tell you it came from someone in your social circle, Mr. Voss, someone who has access to information about your personal life. Vivian? It has to be. The woman from the ball, still bitter about being publicly humiliated. Dante's eyes flash red for just a second, and Ivy squeezes his hand in warning. Not now, not in front of witnesses. Thank you, Ivy manages, for being fair. For seeing the truth. Amanda stands gathering her things. My job is to protect children, Ms. Brennan, and Owen is clearly protected here. Loved. That's what matters. She pauses at the door. For what it's worth, I think you're doing a wonderful job as a mother. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The words break something loose in Ivy's chest. She's been carrying so much doubt, so much fear that she's failing Owen, that she's making the wrong choices. After Amanda leaves, Ivy collapses onto the couch, adrenaline draining away and leaving exhaustion in its wake. Owen climbs into her lap, oblivious to the crisis that just passed. Mommy, can we have mac and cheese for dinner? She laughs, slightly hysterical. Yeah, baby, we can have mac and cheese. Dante waits until Owen is absorbed in his coloring again before he speaks. Voice low and lethal. Vivian Ashcroft will regret this. What are you going to do? Nothing violent. His smile is sharp. But she owns a gallery on Fifth Avenue, and I own the building. Her lease comes up for renewal next month. Dante, she tried to take Owen from you. The words are flat, final. She weaponized the system against a child to punish you for existing. That requires consequences. And Ivy, who has always been the one preaching forgiveness and moving on, finds she can't argue. Some things are unforgivable. That night, after Owen is asleep, Dante and Ivy lie tangled together in their bed. She traces patterns on his chest, feeling the stillness where a heartbeat should be. I was terrified, she admits. When Amanda was in there with Owen, I thought this was it, that I'd lose him. You won't. Ever. He catches her hand, brings it to his lips. I meant what I said to that woman. Owen is mine. You are mine. And I protect what's mine, even from the legal system, especially from that. His eyes meet hers, serious. If it had gone differently today, if she'd tried to remove Owen, I would have taken you both somewhere they could never find you. Built you a new life in a place where my influence runs deeper than human law. The confession should frighten her. Instead, it settles something deep in her soul. He would burn the world for them. For her. For Owen. I love you, she whispers. So much it scares me sometimes. Don't be scared. He rolls, pinning her gently beneath him, his weight a comfort. Be certain. Be absolutely certain that I will never let anything harm you or Owen. Not poverty, not prejudice. Not vindictive socialites or broken systems. Nothing. She pulls him down into a kiss that tastes like promise. and forever. Outside, the city sprawls in glittering darkness, full of people who will never understand what they have. But inside this penthouse, in this bed, with this impossible man who loves her like she's precious, Ivy finally understands what home means. 2 months later, Vivian Ashcroft's gallery closes after her lease isn't renewed. The space becomes a children's art education center, offering free classes to underprivileged kids. Dante names it after Owen. The wedding happens in spring, in a private ceremony on the penthouse terrace with the city as their witness. Owen is the ring bearer, serious and proud in his little suit. When the officiant asks if anyone objects, no one dares. Ivy Voss, no longer Brennan, stands in her husband's arms as the sun sets and thinks about the night a little boy said to a vampire king, "The man Mommy's scared of is outside." That little boy is laughing now, chasing bubbles across the terrace. That vampire king is kissing his new wife like she's the only thing in existence that matters. And that woman who was once so afraid, so alone, so certain she'd never be enough? She's finally home. The crisis came and went. The threats were neutralized. The love remained. And in the end, that's the only story that matters.